afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Juma Game Reserve. Everyone is in a very good mood this afternoon. Don't control yourself at the back of the camera there.
Huh?
I know you want to laugh. Afternoon, everyone. Yeah, Tara is like that behind the camera, like a star. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sebastian, and we've got Tara Peary behind the camera and Mark Weiner back in final control, ready to forward all your questions at questions@juma.com. Don't hesitate if you have any question, and I'll answer them with the best of my knowledge. And if I can't, Tara will help me, and if she can't, Mark will help me, and if they can't, then we'll open some books, we'll Google the net, and we'll make a plan, and we'll find the solution for you. It's hot, it's not summer, it's spring, but there are lots of flies around, and that's why I've got that tree in my hand. Almost like a tree. It's a branch, it's a big branch. I'll show you now why I've got a big branch from it. This tree is magic, alright? It's in the African culture, it's got lots of belief and stuff. But we use it a lot for, how would you say, to get rid of flies. In summer, when you have too many flies around you, it can work very well as like a, there we go, it's like a horse tail basically. And just flies just stop bothering you when you've got a branch of magic guarri. That's its name, magic guarri. Scientific name being Euclea divinorum. And it is a very interesting tree. Not so much for medicinal users. Maybe later on this afternoon we'll talk about other trees which have more interesting medicinal users. We'll see how the drive goes. But this one is more interesting as actually not medicinal users wise, but just a little fact is about the seed that you can make substitute from the seeds. You can make a substitute for coffee. Are you zooming in?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Ta. So you can make a substitute for coffee from the seeds. But the nice thing that I wanted to show you about that tree this afternoon is also that you can make a toothbrush from it. And if you are lost in the bush for a few days, you know that you need to take care of your teeth. It's quite important. If there is one thing you don't want to have in the bush is toothache. It's already sore and painful, and it costs a lot of money when you're in city, in a town. So imagine when you're lost in the bush. That's the last pain you really want to have, is toothache. So take care of your teeth, even in survival condition. You can make a toothbrush from that, and then there is another tree that we can show you later that you can use for toothpaste. It's called the leadwood tree, and basically if you burn some branches of leadwood, you can use the ash as a substitute for toothpaste. And this tree, so the magic guarri, I'm going to try to make you a toothbrush now. And that's why I did cut quite a big branch. We'll show you the tree just now when we pull away. To make a toothbrush, you basically cut quite a nice size branch. This one is actually not big enough. You could take probably the branch the size of my finger. It would work even better. So you see, I was quite gentle. I didn't want to cut a big branch. From
hold it there again?
Yeah, I'm holding it. Still, standing still.
Okay.
And it's a very fibrous wood. So what you do is you just... Sorry?
Hold it there.
Are you zooming in?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't see my screen, so I don't know if you're on close-ups or on wide shots. I'll try to hold it as still as I can. So you basically just peel off. Might get out of the screen from time to time, sorry, but I'll try to hold it into the same place. Just peel off the bark around the tip of the branch. Are you still with me, Ta?
Yeah.
Good. I think the screen is somewhere here. I need to sharpen my knife.
Yeah, you do.
Maybe one day we'll have also a lecture on how to sharpen your knife in the bush. Okay, cool. So you do that, and then you just basically cut a little bit the tip of that branch use a knife like this, just, and you'll understand now why. Just create some kind of cuts without cutting your fingers. There's no way I'll cut my finger with that knife anyway, it's as sharp as a match.
Sure, that is very blunt, Seb.
Sorry?
That's very blunt.
Yeah, it's an old knife, by the way. I had it for many, many years. It used to be a very good knife. Bushline, very good make for knives. It was given to me by very old friend, good old friend. And unfortunately, on one of my tours a few years ago, when I was guiding some people into Lesotho who were doing a 4 days hiking trip, and there was a few kids in the group, and we stopped at a very nice place for lunch. And so we were sitting, having lunch, very nice view in front of us, but it was quite a rocky area. And the day before, that kid saw me basically using my knife and then taking my knife and throwing it in the ground. But obviously it was a muddy terrain or quite a soft soil, so my knife just went like this in the ground. It's fine. But the next day, that kid basically borrowed my knife for lunch, and he just wanted to do the same as I did the previous day. So he took my knife after using it for cutting his apple or I don't know what, and he just threw it in the ground, but it was very rocky terrain, so he just basically broke the tip of the knife. You can imagine how happy I was after that, because I really love that knife. And yeah, he apologized and he felt very bad about it, and I couldn't, he was a kid, he was like maybe 10 years old, couldn't really lose my temper with him, so I didn't show him that I was really bleak about it, but I was really bleak. Anyway, come back on the magic quarry. It's very hot out there today, guys, so I'd rather do a little bit of things like this than driving around and seeing nothing. So after you did that, you just chew a little bit, slightly chew the tip of that branch. And now as you can see, it's Tara's gonna give you a close-up on that just now. It's a very fibrous wood, and that you can use basically as a toothbrush. You see, compared to how the cut was before, when I just cut the branch, it was just proper flat cut. If you do work a little bit the tip of the branch, then you just get that kind of paintbrush. That's the word I was looking for. You get that kind of paintbrush tip, and kind of like your toothbrush add-on. And here we go. And that's your perfect toothbrush in the bush. Sure, my teeth are actually very dirty. I'm joking. And it doesn't taste bad as well. It's got that nice, don't know what the name could be, but it doesn't taste bad at all. It tastes like salad, actually, like any green stuff. So you can use that. And if you've been making a fire, if you made a fire with a bit of leadwood branches, then use that ash. If you have a bit of water, just mix that ash with some water, and it's very rich in lime. And then you can just dip your magic quarry toothbrush into it, and then you've got a toothbrush and toothpaste. Interesting. Very good tree also to use to fight fires. The leaves, I wish you could touch the leaves. Tara, touch the leaves for the viewers. What do you think?
Very waxy.
Very waxy and very strong, very rough, very hard. Not like your common leaves, which are usually quite soft. This tree's got some very hard leaves, and it's perfect to use for fires. When you have a fire accident, when we have to fight fires, if you don't have proper equipment, then people just get a lot of magic quarries branches and just use them.
And the leaves don't come off very easily.
And also the leaves don't come off very easy, as you can see. I can beat Tara with this. Leaves. The leaves stay here. They don't leave the branch.
Where's
So,
the stick?
are you looking for a stick
I
now?
am looking for my stick to poke you with.
I'm not gonna give her that branch, otherwise she's gonna beat me the whole afternoon. So here we go, the Magic Guarri, a clear divinorum, very interesting tree. Toothbrush, coffee, anti-fire, anti-flies, anti-tara.
Danny Tara.
Very good tree. I like that tree very much. The Magic Guarri. There we go. Cool. We're gonna drive off and we can show you the tree as we drive away. So I can pan to the tree so you can have a look at it and see what the tree looks like. I'm sure most of the viewers out there know what it looks like. Those of you who have been following us for a few years. But if we have any new viewers, just to show you, it doesn't grow big. It never goes as like a big tree. It never gets like a big tree. It always stays as like kind of a bushy tree. And here we go. That's the Magic Guarri tree in front of us. Also, it's an evergreen tree. So it remains green all year round. Winter, summer, spring, fall, doesn't matter. Magic Guarri will always be green. And the rest of the trees around, like here at the moment, you can see on quarantine, they don't have leaves or they've got dry leaves. Magic Guarri keeps all his leaves, and it's actually quite a nice. They've got quite a nice green color. Cool. Let's carry on. Let's drive a little bit around, see if there is a bit of game. It's actually already getting cooler. Well, it's because we were standing in the shade. Yeah, it's still quite hot. It is going to be quite a hot afternoon. And I don't know if I did say it earlier on, but we are operating in Juma Game Reserve, which is part of the Sabisen Game Reserve, which is part of the Kruger National Park, which is part of South Africa, which is part of Africa, which is part of planet Earth, which is part of the galaxy, which is part of the universe. Can't go further than that. I don't think I can. But here we go, that's where we are. And any question that you have, questions@juma.com. Mark is sitting there, directing Tara with picture, saying if the quality of the picture is good enough, and sending me all your questions via the radio. All stations, I'm getting mobile on Western Guarri, going down towards Guarri Dam, and probably then on Filament Scott Line, Central Road. Any update for me?
Nothing so far. I'm on a quarantine now. I'd like to check it out and eat.
Okay, copy you, FM, thank you. So we had quite a cool drive this morning. Good start with some hyenas. So the hyena pups playing. Didn't see Teddy though. Depending on how this afternoon goes, maybe we'll go and have a look there. I just want to quickly apologize and come back on one of the questions I got this morning, because I did give a wrong answer and Tara and Mark probably didn't hear me, otherwise they would have stopped me. But I got that question from one of the viewers this morning asking me if hyenas were related to dogs and to cats. And I thought they were related to dogs. And this afternoon I was in my room doing some reading about different things, and I did some reading again on hyenas, always learning stuff on hyenas every day. It's incredible. It's just, there's so much to learn about these animals. And anyway, I came up to a subject talking about hyenas, dogs or cats. And then I realized that I actually didn't give the right answer to you, whoever asked me that question this morning. And I'm sorry for that. But at least I found out that I was wrong, and I'm apologizing now. And I'll tell you now what's the... Sorry? Oh. Hello, Mr. Rafi. Let's have a look at that giraffe pool
Funny
quickly.
enough, I didn't hear. I actually thought you said they were related to cats. That's why.
No.
So,
But I know when I drive, sometimes Tara can't really hear me. If the car is stopped like that and when I talk like that, she can hear me. But if I'm driving, then she can't really copy everything I say. And I did say that they were related to dogs, and they're not. And I'm sorry, they are actually related to cats. And if the order Carnivora would be divided into two families, which is not. But to make things easier, if it would be divided into the Felidae and the Canidae, then the hyenas would fall under the Felidae family. And their closest relatives are actually the mongoose, interesting enough. And they did diverge from the mongoose family a few million years ago. I hope people are not thinking I'm talking about giraffe now. If we get some people connecting now, they're like, oh, giraffe, diverging from mongoose millions of years ago. Wow, Seb, we didn't know that. No, I'm talking about the hyenas. And we're looking at the giraffe. But they did diverge from the mongoose a few million years ago, the hyenas, and they found quite a niche, and that niche was basically to scavenge the remains of kills from cats and steal their kills, and that's why they developed some kind of, how would you say, that's a few things that made them different than cats are basically their jaws, for example, very powerful, very strong and powerful, and that's because of the niche they are exploiting, which is basically feeding most of the time. They are hunters, we can talk about that later, but they also feed on lots of remains of kills. They scavenge a lot, and for that they need to be able to chew through the bones to get access to the marrow, and or chew the bones into like into something that they can swallow, basically. So where your cats usually have slicing teeth, they use their teeth to slice meat, skin, tenders, whatever, tendons. Your hyenas will usually have how you call it, crushing teeth. Here we go, crushing teeth, and they'll use their powerful jaws and their teeth to crush through bones to access the marrow and be able to swallow the bones. So that's one of the differences that they have with cats. But they are related. If they are related more to cats than to dogs, even though they look like dogs, they look more like dogs than cats. I agree, but they are actually related to cats. Okay, let's leave that giraffe for now, and let's quickly have a look. Go and have a look at the dam, see what's happening there. Maybe we can come back to you a bit later, Mr. Rafi. Yeah, there are lots of interesting things I'd like to talk to you about concerning hyenas. I did receive also, I want to thank some viewers that sent me a few emails this morning and in the previous days regarding some info about hyenas, and I did learn a lot, and thank you very much, Donna, I think it was Donna, Randy, Lynn in Canada. So thanks a lot for that. I've definitely been through my emails, reading, and I did learn a few things. I don't think it would be appropriate to talk about it now, though. I would rather talk about it when we are looking at some hyenas. So I'll keep those info in the back of my mind, and if we get to the hyena den a bit later on this afternoon, and if they're there, then I can quickly talk you through a few nice info that I've read. A few things that I knew already, and a few things that I didn't really know. Oh, it's Stumpy, the warthog missing his tail. I think we call him Stumpy.
Oh, I saw George earlier as well.
George?
Yeah.
Who's George?
George the warthog.
Oh, the big one, yes. The big warthog, yes. And I can see, what's his name?
Billy.
Billy?
Billy no mates.
Billy the wildebeest.
Yeah, Billy
Billy no mates.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Not a great sight. Not a great view on those warthogs over there. Facocher. And here we go. Here we have Billy no mates. Willie the wildebeest. Willie, Billy, George. The lonely wildebeest. Most of the time by himself, solitary. Yeah, you can go, Mark, if you want. Nicole and Valentine. Sorry, I was listening to Mark on the radio. Good afternoon to you. Nicole and Valentine want to know if some animals do feed on the leaves of the magic guarri, like giraffe. Yes, definitely. You get kudus and a few antelope species. It's a pity I actually didn't bring that book now. I left it in my room. I've got a book which I don't have it, which tells me all the different species of herbivores or antelopes which feed on different trees. But your kudus, waterbuck will definitely feed on the guarri. I'm not too sure about giraffe though. Have you seen giraffe feeding on guarris? No, it's not palatable enough.
Well, they can eat fairly non-palatable stuff.
Oh.
I've seen them eat that.
Mark says he has though. Okay.
Okay. Well,
Well, that's okay, but that's good. If Mark has seen giraffe feeding on guarris, then it does happen. I would have thought that maybe the leaves are a bit too rough. So yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they wouldn't feed for a long period of time on it. It would just take like a mouthful of it and then just carry on. They wouldn't. Sorry. They wouldn't feed on. They wouldn't feed on magic guarris for like long periods of time. How's it, Billy no mates? Chewing the cud, and that's what they usually do at this time of the day. Just park themselves somewhere and chew the cud. Blue wildebeest, or also called the gnu. I think the migration is happening at the moment in Tanzania, the wildebeest migration, as we're talking. Maybe get thousands of them migrating from one country to another one for food. Cool. Sorry, Billy. To carry on. So nice close up on his horns.
hmm.
want to challenge me? Hmm?
Yes, he does.
What did you hear there? What's that? Okay, let's go there. Sorry, buddy. Can I pass? Or are you gonna charge me? Sorry, buddy. I've got some buffaloes on the dam wall. Geronimo, yes, we used to call him Geronimo for a while. I remember that when Becky was still around. He's got lots of names: Geronimo, Billy, Willie. But at the end of the day, he's wildebeest, blue wildebeest.
Oh, you want to? Oh, sorry. I thought you were-
No, but it's a joke. Can you film down here?
Huh?
Can you film that down here? Done quiz.
Kind of.
No, but I was joking. Yeah, you can. There it is.
Yeah.
Done quiz. Who done it? And if I get some wrong answers, I'm really not gonna be happy because this is the easiest done quiz ever, guys. Who done it?
We turn the engine off.
Well, I didn't think I was going to stay for very long. But if you're zooming in, yes. Who done it? Sorry, Mark, what's that about the giraffe? So, okay, hold on. Yeah, go.
Oops.
Oh, yeah. No, but I don't want to confuse them. I want it easy for you, Mark. So, guys, send an email to Mark, who done it. And Mark's gonna just send a few names, but I don't want any mistake. And the only way you can make a mistake is if you just connected or joined the drive just like a minute ago. Otherwise, you should know who done it. And Mark, Tara gave you a good close-up, so from now on you know also what it looks like when it's fresh. Shall we do a spitting competition with that?
I'd rather not with Bess. You can.
Yeah, I'll play by myself. With wet dung, fresh wet dung. No, thank you, but no. Hello guys. Roadblock. There's not much I can do here. We've got a few dagger boys here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 buffalo bulls, also called dagger boys. Dagger meaning mud in Zulu, referring to the fact that they like to wallow in mud, cover themselves with mud as a sunblock and anti-parasite lotion. Let's call it like that. And you can see they're quite old already. This one in front of us, grazing, has got like quite a nice pair of horns. Very thick, very big and thick. Yeah, sure. You can see how damaged those horns are. It's been quite. It's been through quite a lot. This one. Very similar to your car at home. Bovidae family, so the same family as your cattle farm. Or yeah, same family as your cows or cattle. Quite a few oxpeckers on his back, red-billed oxpeckers, feeding on the ticks and any other kind of parasites they can find on his body, on his in his fur, in his coat. Cool. I don't want to push him off the wall, guys, so what we're going to do, I'm just going to reverse and I'll go and drive along, what's the name, Central Road, and go towards Twin Dam and stuff. Yeah, there are a few more buffaloes there also, doing what they do best, chilling in the water or in the mud. Just to cool down. This is also a way for them to cool down during the hottest part of the day, which is between kind of 11 at the moment, between 11 in the morning and 5 past 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Not summer yet, but it already gets quite hot. Good 28, 29, maybe probably even 30 at the moment on some days. Cool, let's cruise. See you later. Zoomies can keep an eye on them. So I don't want to spend too much time because you guys can actually see them from the water camera. So this is the live safari cam. So I will just show you some other stuff that you can't see from the live, from the water cam.
On the road.
Oh, sorry. Am I good there?
Yeah, you're
Who was that from? Sorry? Chris and Tim saying gorilla dang. Well done. Sure, I'm impressed. Tara did train you very well. Oh no, Dorita, are you serious? Teresa, are you serious? Or are you joking? Because I know Chris and Tim are joking. I wonder if Teresa is serious or if she's joking.
What did Teresa say?
Impala.
Impala.
Yeah. Well, I know where you're coming from. Destiny. Yeah, Destiny, good. Good, Gary.
It's okay.
Okay, we're back. Alright, to Destiny and Gary saying the good answer, which is not gorilla, by the way. It wasn't a proper dunk quiz, like I said. And Tara probably just gave you a quick close-up anyway. We didn't even get out of the car. It's just that because of what happened just before and what we were looking at just before, I just wanted to show you what it looks like when it's very, very fresh. Because it happened just in front of us as we were talking about
We
it.
did catch it on camera. I
Yeah,
did see it.
we did catch him on camera. Just as we arrived there, it happened in front of us. Good, Sherilyn. Nice one. Jumbos. Who said that? Sherilyn. Okay, Sherilyn, I'll be careful next time. Sherilyn is saying I should maybe be careful when I get close to Billy the wildebeest, Billy no mates, because he's been lonely for a while and he might think I look good. No, I don't look that good, Sherilyn. I didn't even put makeup on today. Hello, Jumbos. Got some mailies. Maybe the same hair, that's the same one we had this morning. I don't know, maybe. Let me see where they are, what they're doing. Some of them are in there.
Oh, got Eddie approaching buff here.
Got Ellie approaching a buff here. You want to film that? Let me reverse for you. Is that better from here? No. What about? No, I've got a gap for you there. But he's gone. Nah, not really. Lots of branches in the way. We've got one Ellie and one buff, another Ellie over there. I'm just trying to see if we go left, this side. For the light, yeah, good point. Okay, I'll try to go in. Yeah, there's another buff there. Try to go in that side. He's playing hide and seek with me. Hello, little one.
After it ends, yeah, but one of us in the Nyari and Lamit in Luanini. From Ingwe Luanini? Oh, yes. Okay. I'm sure I can hear about the south of Rhino Plain before Garima. Is it right or not? I didn't copy that. I'll just quickly there to make sure, otherwise I'll come to join you guys there. Yeah, it's not whether we have to come because it will look like it's not the election.
Oh yeah, that's fine, Mark. You can send, yeah. I'll try to get closer there. That was from Sumac, right, Mark? Yeah. Good afternoon to you, Sue. Sue's asking about giraffe. There is a bit of a lag, so sorry, Sue. I'm answering your question while we're busy looking at the Ailey's, but Mark's got a few questions in the pipeline, and it sounds like there is a bit of a lag, so you guys are a little bit behind me. But Sue is asking about giraffe, if they have some kind of a pouch in their mouth. It does look like they do when they chew the cud. Sorry. Okay, so it's just keeping an eye on my radio as well. I heard Mvula, but he's in Torchwood this afternoon. So I don't think we'll see Mvula today. No, not really. They don't. So have any pouch. It's just what I agree with you. It does look like they have one when they chew the cud, but it's just comes back in their mouth. It's just because their mouth they've got a mouth full of food coming back from the rumen, from the stomach to chew it again, and that's why it does look like they've got a pouch, but they actually don't. So. What you doing there, little one? With that magic quarry? You're feeding on it. He was. So, who was asking earlier on what animals do feed on the magic quarry? We go. You had it in front of you just now. That young Ellie was just feeding on a few leaves from that magic quarry. Do you have some kind of an infection in your eye, little one? His left eye is crying a lot. Did you see that? Yeah.
Didn't get a chance to actually zoom in on it.
Yeah, Tara didn't get a chance to zoom on it, but maybe if he comes into shot again, it looks like he's got an infection. It's his left eye is running a lot. Got a little baby there.
Maybe somewhere maybe on the Lions Road to the west. Okay, thanks man, I will try to check.
You can see how they're flapping their ears. A lot of people think that when they flap their ears like that, it's for intimidation, and it's actually not just for intimidation purpose. They do it when they want to intimidate you, but they also do it when they are very relaxed, like right now, and it's just a way for them to ventilate themselves, to cool down their body. Skin on their ears is very, very thin, and it's got lots of veins at the back of their ears, and by flapping their ears like that, they basically cool down those veins which are just under the skin, and it's a very thin skin, so they cool down the blood in their ears, and that helps them to cool down their body temperature, and this is basically their cooling system. And that's why you see elephants during the hottest part of the day, like now, they'll be standing in the shade and just flapping their ears as they feed. Nothing to do with intimidation or not being happy or things like that. They are very relaxed at the moment. Mark is asking if they're not making toothbrushes. Yes, they are. Good point, Mark. They are making toothbrushes. Here we go. Look at that, guys. And they're better than me. They like that quarry bush at the moment, feeding on the leaves and on the bark. Hey little one, hello, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, Mullah's now heading towards Central Road, that area just north of Torchwood Martina. No, sorry, he's on the eastern side of Torchwood Martina, heading north towards Central. So, if I'm looking at the other angle, you are looking at the other angle as well? Yeah, I'm with Mullah at the moment. Okay, so thanks, man. Yeah, that's Mullah. We just need it now.
See, they also use magic quarry to chase flies. It's a magic quarry afternoon. Gave you a bit of a lecture on the magic quarry earlier on, and now you can see elephants feeding on it and taking leaves and bark and playing with the branches.
Can I have an update? Neil, yeah, I'm eating tortured. I'd like to see a Buddha.
Do you think it's true, Ta, that you could use the magic quarry to find water?
That's where I think it gets its name from, the Divinorum.
Yeah, I know.
You take the two.
Like a branch in a fork.
Yeah.
kind of shape and use it to find water. So that's something
Some people swear by it, eh? So
that's one thing I forgot to tell you, just came back to my mind now. Back in the old days, people used to use branches of the magic guarri to find water. They would use basically a stick in like a fork shape and basically hold the fork by the handles and then use it as a tool to find water underground. And that's why it comes. That's why it's got its name from Ecleam Divinorum. But it's called a divining rod. Actually, Mark is saying divining rod. Yeah, and that's where. Sorry, I hear something, but I think it's a plane or. No, it is a plane, yeah, far away. And it is where its name Divinorum comes from. Alright, these guys have moved off. Let's try to see if I can go around a little bit, see if we can see them, spend a little bit more time with them. Adam. Good afternoon to you, Adam. Adam was asking if I have seen lions recently. No, I haven't. And the last time I've seen lions was with Mark on that buffalo kill by Buffalo Souk, around Buffalo Souk Dam. And that was... Sure, just give me a fright.
I can hear it, can't see it though.
Yeah, we can. There is. It's very little, but it's very noisy. That was the last time I saw lions, Adam, and that was like maybe a week and a half ago, a week ago. They are.
I saw the Tzalala.
Yeah. When did you see the Tzalala star?
Where?
When?
Just a few days ago.
I saw the Tzalalas a few days ago. It's okay, Mama. Okay, I'm gonna stop here for now.
We're just on the western side of the first rock. Can you see it?
So yeah, Tara saw the Tzalalas a few days ago in front of the lodge. But they are busy now. There is a kill. Oh, I need to get down there, guys. I need to get down there. Hope you're gonna stay relaxed, Mama. I'm just going a few meters forward. We've got some elephants drinking out of a hole in the riverbed. That's really cool. Can you get them from your car?
Yeah, stop.
Is that fine?
Yeah.
That's awesome, guys. I wanted to actually show you this afternoon. I wanted to get to a riverbed and show you holes that elephants make to get water from underground. And here we go. We've got a few of them doing it as I'm talking. That's really cool. It's okay, Mama, just relax. Just relax.
Yeah, no, the best would probably be is to go onto the southern side of the Shibuli and come around to my side. That's going to be your best visual.
Nice. We might get some nice interactions here now. Might get the babies playing a little bit. from what I've saw, they've dug quite a big hole actually, and looks like they got some water there. Do you think if I drive down there, they'll run away?
We're
Must-
not going to get any better view, I don't think, because it's just here.
Well, if I would go down there, yes, we'd get a better view. But I'm scared that they might just
Yeah, I think probably
get
best
scared
to-
and run away, and then we lose everything. So okay, yeah, let's just stay here for now. There's a spot where we could go to get a better view, but I'm afraid if I go there, they might just get spooked. Trying to break that tree over there, Mama. Where is that? A knob thorn? No. Trying to get to the roots. Have you ever poked an elephant? Oh, Nicole, asking how old that elephant is. I think you were talking about the one earlier on. And if, yeah, if you're talking about the smallest one, it's probably just around a year old. There's a bit of a lag, but I guess you were talking about the smallest elephant that we were looking at just a few minutes ago. And that female, yeah, that cow is just trying to get to the roots. Here we go. Oh, his baby is rolling there. He's rolling in the mud. Ta.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have if you can have a view from where you are. Maybe I need to reverse a bit.
No, I can get it. But I
Can
can't
you?
get both of them.
Okay.
Sure.
It's probably the mud is also quite cold, or not cold, but cool. Where they are at the moment, where they dug that hole. So that's why that baby is probably just like lying down there because of the soil being quite fresh, quite cool, and it helps him to cool down his body temperature as well. And I know some people would think, but why do they actually drink from? Why do they dig holes in the riverbeds and get water from underground when there's still some water in the dams? And that's because elephants are quite difficult with water. And they like clean water, and the dam at the moment, the water at the dam is really not that clean. And that's quite filthy, and they rather dig a hole like that and get some nice clear water. You could drink that water if you would be lost in the bush and you need some water. Dig a hole like that, quite deep, and then you get that underground water, which is actually already filtered by the sand, and you can drink it straight away from there, from the river. But I've done it before. It's very clean water, and it's very fresh as well, and elephants really like that water much more than the water that you find at the dam at the moment.
Mm.
You check that starling just looking at them. What you guys doing there? Port shells starling. Nice. Is it just splashing water on the baby?
Somebody's splashing water.
I heard splashing water as well. Oh, look how happy that baby is. It's like, aircon. Bush aircon. Just open the iris a little bit if you can, please.
Oh.
A little bit, yeah, just to get a bit more definitions. Yeah, that should be fine. Look how happy he is. Ah, paradise. Tough life. Good afternoon, Kim. Welcome on board. Hope you're enjoying the sighting. Kim wants to know if the Sabisen Game Reserve is fenced or if animals can travel in and out of the reserve. No, it is not about Juma. Alright, Juma. Juma is not fenced. Juma is part of the Sabisen Game Reserve, which is part of the Greater Kruger National Park, and there is no fence between Kruger and Sabisen, or between Kruger and Juma being part of Sabisen. There is a fence on the western side of the reserve, obviously, to stop the animals from going out of the reserve on that side where you get villages and cities, towns, and and that fence is basically part of, it is the western boundary of the whole Kruger National Park. Hmm. Marsha, good afternoon to you, Marsha. Wants to know where those elephants are digging, if it is a natural spring, and if not, where is the closest river. Not too sure what's a natural spring in English, though. What I know is that this is the riverbed of one of, I think it is one of the Milwaukee riverbeds, right? Is this the Milwaukee riverbed?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why you'll get some water underground. Obviously, it's dry now. The river's dry. It's summer, but even in winter, it's during winter you'll get some rain, but you never see that river flowing really. You just get like a little bit of water in it. But underground, you'll get some nice fresh water. And I don't know if that's what you mean by natural spring.
Natural spring is usually where the water, usually comes fairly close to
the surface.
It usually comes out and it flows like a little brook or something.
So
It's
that
usually very fresh water and it's filtered through the rocks and sand, but it's not really. You can't really call this a natural stream as such. It would have another name. Yeah.
Yeah, Tara is saying it's not really, can't really call it a natural spring, but it's got water underground. Proof is they're just right there in front of us. They've been digging now for quite some time, and they've definitely been drinking a bit and playing with the mud. It would be actually very interesting once they leave the area to actually climb off the vehicle and go and check out that hole and see how deep it is and how much water is in there. Mongoose are getting closer and closer. Okay. Sure, look at that, guys. Yeah. Okay, I'll talk to Tara. Sure, look at that. This is what I enjoy the most when I chill with elephants, when they start getting like this, a little bit playful and just happy vibes, happy moods. It's just like enjoying life, you know? That's really awesome. And I'm sure Mark wish he could be here as well, instead of sitting behind the computer and cooking FC, because it's very hot at the moment in FC. There's no air conditioning and we've got a big glass window, and the whole afternoon that sun is just hitting that window and the computers are right behind it, and it's just like a oven. I'm sure Mark would rather be here with us now and chilling with those beautiful Ellies. Ta, Mark was saying, just if you can check the settings on that camera, because it looks like they're wrong. It's got some funny pink reflections, and when you change the outdoor level earlier on, did you bring it back to 0? You haven't changed the white balance thing that you were doing?
No, I haven't changed the white balance at all.
Okay. Because you were saying the viewers
Yeah, very relaxed. That is just,
notice that it's got like some kind of a pinkish tone to the picture.
And now? Does it have a pinkish tone?
He says it's like watching it in 3D without glasses. You know, like
That's really weird.
red in one side, green on one side.
But it's come through fine on your screen.
But yeah, my monitor in front of me is fine, Mark. So I don't know. And on internet, what does it look like on the net?
Or going into Wirecast. As if it's going fine into Wirecast.
Wouldn't it be from Wirecast then?
Yeah, it might well be.
Oh sure, we almost got that. Almost got some mud sprayed at us now. Sure, pushing that baby away, eh? Let me dig, let me dig. Yeah, no, Mark's saying it can't be from Wirecast because it's like that on the monitor.
It's
So,
like that on the monitor.
yeah. Maybe it would be worth maybe switch it off and on again.
Yeah, let me switch it off and switch it on.
Okay guys, we're just gonna switch off the camera and on again. So you're gonna
It's
have,
like that all drive.
has it been like that? He says it might be looking a bit better now. Oh, cute. I've got those dwarf mongoose right there by my feet. Okay. Tony, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Tony. Was wondering what were those little animals running around. That was them that you can see on the screen in front of you right now. Those little dwarf mongoose. That was them that you saw running around, and that you saw that elephant chasing. He was running after them earlier on. Very funny footage. You can hear them calling now. That's dwarf mongoose calling. On my left-hand side. Left-hand side. Bit of rambling from the elephants. Carol was asking what is the difference between mongoose and meerkats. They're just different species. Carol, meerkats are much bigger. You get different species of mongoose. And meerkat is not a species of mongoose, it's different. These ones that we've got in front of us are the dwarf mongoose. You get other species of mongoose, banded mongoose, white-tailed mongoose, let me think, yeah, your double-banded mongoose, white-tailed, dwarf, missing one or two, missing a couple, but anyway, and the meerkats are much bigger. They're like 5 times the size of these ones, and they live more in like arid areas, like desert areas, like Namibia or the northern part of northwest part of South Africa, the Kalahari region, in the I think it's the Northern Cape. There you might find some meerkats, and then definitely in the Kalahari Desert, you'll find some meerkats there as well. So, different environment, and
They are a type of mongoose, though.
are they a type of mongoose? So they are a type of mongoose, but they don't occur here. And if you would have some here now, you would see how different they are. They're much bigger. Actually makes sense that they're a type of mongoose because they got lots of similarities. Like they can stand up on their back feet, just like stand up straight and look for predators or stuff like that, like mongoose would do. and they're bigger. They're white with like some stripes. And yeah, unfortunately they do not occur around here. So I wish I could have one of those mongoose as a pet. But it would be the worst thing to do. Lots of people want to have dwarf mongoose as a pet, but never do that, guys. They're very cute, I agree, but they're just like such social creatures, such social animals. They just need to be with other mongoose all the time, with other individuals of the same species, obviously, all the time. They're very social. If you get one mongoose, it will actually die from sadness, probably, because it will just be very lonely. Sherry wants to know how far deep the water is. Well, we'll go and check it out. Check it out now, Sherry. Just waiting a little bit more, and then I'll go down there. And those elephants are still going to be around, so I don't think we'll be able to take the camera off and climb out of the car. But I might be able to park the vehicle in a way that we can see from the vehicle what that hole looks like and how deep it is and how much water is in there. Hey! Tara is kicking me. Now? And now? What you gonna do now?
It smells.
I got Tara shoe. I've got Tara shoe.
Just don't throw it to the elephants, please.
Huh?
Don't throw it to the elephants.
I'm thinking about it. Tara is saying don't throw it at the elephants. I'm really thinking about it. Dia wants to know, good afternoon to you, Dia, wanting to know how do elephants know where to find water? Everything looks so dry. They can smell it, Dia. They've got a very strong sense of smell. And first of all, the matriarch of the herd will always know where to take the herd to find water. And when they find a riverbed like that, they will know that if they dig, and they might dig a few holes. Sometimes they'll start digging there and then can't get water, so they'll just stop and go further on and then dig another hole somewhere else until they get some water. They know that by digging like this inside the riverbed, they usually get some water, and they can smell the water underground. Their sense of smell is very strong. They've been used by some units to basically find find the mines in some countries like Mozambique. They've been using elephants to detect mines underground, and they basically do a bit of training on them, of course, and then they take them on the field, on some landmines, and they'll just walk with the elephants, and the elephants will stop when it smells a landmine, and then they will know from there what to do and how to dig the mine out and get rid of it. Let's quickly maybe drive down there in the riverbed and see if we can have a closer look at that hole for Sherry, who was asking how deep it is. It's going to be difficult from here. Unfortunately, we won't have a great view. Best would have been to climb off the vehicle. But we're not going to do that now because there's still some Ellies around. I don't really want to disturb them. Just want to see if I can go to how close is that branch there on the left?
Very.
Very close. So can I drive over it, you think?
You might be able to.
Okay.
Take it very, very slowly.
Yeah.
Actually pushing it out of the way.
You got to tell me how close I am from.
No, you're on it.
Yeah, but from the edge of the riverbed.
Oh. No, you
Can you film it from here? No, eh? Sorry?
can take that.
You can't film it from here, eh?
No, we're a little bit too close.
I don't think we'll be able to have a look at it, guys. Fortunately. If we...
Well, that works. Just go straight.
Sorry?
Go straight now.
Can I? Over that buffalo thorn?
That should be alright.
How's that? Sorry? Yeah. We can take the camera off without climbing off the vehicle.
It's as good as I can get it.
Yeah, this is as good as we can get. But yeah, I can't really get out of here anyway. Lots of branches on the ground too. It's probably like less than a meter deep anyway. It's not very, very deep. You could see that baby who was quite a young baby could get access to it.
Yeah, it's about
Yeah, like half a meter.
maybe it's best if you show.
Like this. Or like that deep. Cool, guys. That was quite a nice sighting. Very interesting. doing at the back there? Sorry, Ta. You still here?
Yeah, just.
Nice. Very interesting sighting. If you've got more questions about Elise, you can fire Mark.
That weighs out.
Yeah. No more question, Mark? Oh. Lots and lots of questions, guys. Good afternoon to you, Deborah. Welcome on board. Hope you enjoyed that sighting. Deborah had a question about the wildebeest way back then. That lonely wildebeest that we saw, Billy nomates. And she wants to know why is he by himself. He's just he's a bull. He's a wildebeest. He's a wildebeest bull. Not really. So welcome back, guys. We're gone again. All right. yeah, but we just keep on.
Yeah, I think
Going
it is
on and
this
off.
connection.
So it must be a loose connection at the back of the camera. Tara is trying to make a plan about it. And it looks like we're good now. So, Deborah, was on your question about that wildebeest. Why is he by himself? Well, he just doesn't have a herd of his own, Deborah. It's just, he's a bull, and sometimes, well, not sometimes, most of the time, wildebeest bulls will be solitary. And when it comes to mating season again, then they'll find a herd and they'll fight for to get access to the females to be able to mate. And then once the mating season is finished, they will the males will become either solitary or sometimes they will be with other males. Sometimes you'll find that a few wildebeest males will come around here on quarantine, and then Billy no mates will have a few mates with him and be hanging around them for a few days until they also decide to leave, because that's kind of his territory here. He's got his territory and
It's holding on to a territory at the moment.
sorry?
Be holding on to a territory.
He will be holding on to a territory at the moment, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he needs to hold on to that territory. But if there are a few males who come around, will he spend a bit?
Stay with them.
He will spend a bit of time with them. So yeah, like I said, spend a bit of time with them, and then they will move on and he'll stay here. That's his territory until the mating season arrives. Oh, great. You're welcome, Erka. Erka is saying thanks for showing George the warthog. And she fell in love with him when she was staying at Vuyatela. So you're welcome, Erka.
Yeah, I'm relieved.
And Tara is relieved. Why?
Because I thought George had been eaten by Mvula.
Oh yeah, we thought George was got eaten by Mvula, one of our male leopards, and yeah, we are relieved that he's still around. Mvula didn't get him yet. Gilly, good afternoon to you. A subject that I'm not really good at, Gilly. I don't really have any knowledge yet on that subject. Need to do a bit of reading. Gilly is asking about TB. What was that? If lions can get TB from eating.
Thank you.
Tara is throwing things at me again.
No man, I'm trying to get it done.
Nice neck track again. And another one, sure. Yeah, okay, so yeah, if lions can get TB from eating the lungs of animals that have TB, I don't know, Gilly. If Mark can help or Tara,
That's how they've been catching it, is from eating buffalo
so they can get it that way.
by eating it.
So yeah, from eating a buffalo lung, if the buff got TB, then yes, they will be catching it as well. So I hope that answers your question, Gilly. They will get it if that buff's got TB, if they eat the lungs. But they're usually not really after lungs, are they? Lions.
Well, they will eat the lungs.
Would they eat lungs? It's more like the rumen that they don't eat, eh?
Yeah, the stomach.
The stomach content and stuff. Yeah. Oh, all right. Thanks, Joanne. Joanne is saying the Elise are at the dam. Probably actually, I'm sure the Elise that we were chilling with now. So zoomies, keep an eye on the waterhole. There are a few eilies there. And like I said, the waterhole cam is one thing and the live safari cam is something else. And you guys can swap from one to another one. Don't really want to spend too much time around Gary Dam because there is already a cam there, so it's quite ridiculous to have two cams next to each other filming the same thing. So I'd rather be driving around and trying to find other interesting stuff for you. No, Aaron, sorry, no, unfortunately. But good afternoon to you, Aaron. Welcome on board. Aaron is asking if I had the luck to see an elephant giving birth and if I've caught it on camera. No, not yet. One day, hopefully. You need to be pretty lucky to see that happening. I think you might spend all your life in Africa, in the bush, and you might not even see it. Have you seen it, Mark? Yeah, you see, even Mark, who's been around elephants for most of his life, hasn't seen an elephant giving birth. So sure, now you need to be very lucky for that. But you never know. One day, maybe here, maybe on one of the live cam drive, and then you can see it in the same time as we do. And another snake track. Sure, snakes are active. Close your doors, close your windows. Well, there were lots of things I wanted to do this afternoon, but I didn't plan on having some nice eilies or spending some time with nice eilies. So maybe we'll do it another afternoon, another day. I'm making my way slowly now to the hyena den. I'm sure there are more questions. Mark is going to forward them to me. There are lots of questions piling up, and I hope you understand we can't just answer all questions. As you all know, the number of viewers have increased, which is really, really great. That's great news. But if the number of viewers increase, that also means that the number of questions increase, and we do try to answer as many questions as we can. But sometimes we can't just answer all of them. So I hope you understand that. But Mark, if you've got more while I'm making my way to the den, I'm happy to give you some answers. Oh, sorry, Mark. Sorry, Mark, hold on. Sorry, Mark. What's that?
Sorry.
Stara saw something really nice.
Oh,
Oh, this one, yeah, quite new, eh? Quite fresh.
not noticed it before.
I haven't seen it before either. Can you get it from here?
Just keep going. Yeah.
Sure, very nice. Sorry, Mark, just give me a minute or two.
Sorry.
Wow, that's good.
That is awesome.
So that's an aardvark hall. Aardvark? Aardvark. And aardvark, you can also call them your ant
And bears.
ant bears. Here we go, thank you.
Earth pigs.
Or earth pig?
Earth pig.
I didn't know that name. But you can also call them ant bear or earth pig. And I'll try to get a picture of it in my book for you. But that's a hole from that was dug by a aardvark, and they dig holes like that. They're after ants. Obviously, they feed on ants mostly, and they've got very powerful claws to dig holes. And Sure, we've been driving that road almost every day, and we've never noticed that one. So I don't know. It might be. It doesn't look that fresh though.
No, it doesn't.
It's not. It's not really like. It's not like it happened today or yesterday. It's definitely much older than that. You can see it from the soil. What's in there though? Can you see in there what's in there?
No,
Can you
it's
see the
quite
end
far
of the hole?
down.
Sorry, you can't see the end. So it's quite deep. Yeah,
It's
Tara
at
is,
least a meter down.
yeah, Tara is saying it's at least a meter down, very, very deep. And we don't know what's in there, so I wouldn't just go and put my head in there and just have a look. I might get a bad surprise. Could be a big snake, could be a small animal living in there now. Lots of animals use aardvark holes as a burrow, and it's not a good idea to go and stick your hand in there or put your head to just have a closer look.
You see the claw marks right on
But
the
you
top
can,
of it.
yeah, I was going to say you can see the claw mark
Yeah.
on top of the hole, on top of your screen against the basically the top part of the hole. You can, yeah, here we go. Tara is pointing it out now, and those are the claws mark from the aardvark. I'm gonna try to find you a picture of aardvark in here for people, or for those of you who don't know.
Very, very cool.
What Mark is saying could also be porcupine, but I don't know if it would be in that angle like that
No.
from porcupine. It's going really.
It might be taken over by porcupine.
Could have been taken over by porcupine, but was probably started by aardvark. You can clearly see the claws mark. What about a pangolin?
Pangolin wouldn't make it that big.
Wouldn't be that big, eh? Here we go. I've got an aardvark. I've never seen one, guys. I hope one day I'll see one.
They
They're quite.
are very cool animals.
They are.
Very, very cool.
I think they're very cool, but they're very nocturnal, eh?
Yeah, we did have one that would come out about 10:30 in the morning sometimes
Okay.
on overcast days. when it was
Okay.
winter. But generally, nocturnal.
Yeah, they're generally nocturnal. But I used to see one sometimes would be still active up to like 10:30 in the morning. And yeah, here we go. That's what it looks like. Not the prettiest, but
No,
kind.
they
But kind of cute in a way, with the long nose and long ears, and you can see those claws I was talking about, very very big and sharp and strong, and they also have like a very long tongue that they use. They basically like almost like a snake. It's a very long tongue that they and very sticky, and when they find ants in a ants mound, then they'll just like put their tongue in there, and ants will just get stuck on their tongue, and they will just like that's the way they would eat ants. Gestation period of approximately 7 months. They're born naked with open eyes. They begin to follow the mother after 2 weeks and start eating insects at 3 months. Becoming independent at 6 months and sexually active at about 2 years. The aardvark lives up to 18 years. For some of you who like numbers, there we go. 7 months gestation period, sexually active at about 2 years, independent
What
around
the
6
same
months.
gestation period is?
Around 7 months.
Oh, 7 months. Didn't know that.
That's funny because you look at the size. An aardvark is, well, I'll give you now the real size. They're like around 44 to 60,
They're about that long.
33 centimeters.
Without the tail.
Yeah, without the tail, yeah, for sure. I was saying they're about that long, but that's without the tail.
And that, the tail again.
And tall-wise, they're probably like what, like that tall when they like stand.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And it's funny because.
They actually jump on the back legs. It's quite funny.
Yeah. And you look at the size of this one, its gestation period is around 7 months, and this morning we were looking at hippos. And when you think that the gestation period of hippos is around 7.5, between 7.5 and 8.5, and it's just like 10 times the size of an aardvark. It's just amazing. It's amazing. It's mayonnaising. Alright, let's go and check out some hyenas. Well, if they're there.
We need to keep a look on this road.
Yeah.
That drainage line on the northern side of Portsmouth at the moment. But looks like myself and the problem is going to try and stay here with us. We'll try and keep it full until we get there. That's right. Over them, heading south.
So I didn't even answer the little dung quiz earlier on. Got busy with other things just straight after it. But it was basically a joke. We had Billy No Mate, the wildebeest, defecating right in front of us when we were talking about him, and that's why when he left I just drove a little bit forward and I stopped right by the dung pile that he made, and that's why I asked you, alright, dung quiz, who dung it? And don't come up with a wrong answer, because that was really, really easy. But maybe some of you were just looking at something else when that happened, and I can understand where you're coming from when you said impalas. Just bear in mind that the impalas would be a little bit smaller. But once again, we didn't really take the camera off the car to show you properly. It was just a joke, as like happened right in front of us. So it was just like an easy one for you, and also an opportunity to see another opportunity to see what it looks like when it's very fresh. Just had happened just now, like 2 minutes before. We're getting into the nice cool part of the day now. Temperatures are much more bearable, much cooler. Light is also pretty nice. Maybe actually it would be worse to pan a little bit there. Sure, look at that. Lots of different colors. Spring has sprung. Level up the car. There we go. I don't know if it will come out nicely on your screen, but sure, look at all those different colors, different greens, different yellows, and all those trees getting into flowers now. It's probably not as pretty on your screen as it is now for us with our own eyes, but it's very pretty. I think all of those are probably knob thorns. Some knob thorns getting in flower now. Spring has sprung. Okay. Sure. Deb, good evening to you. Getting some aardvark questions, and I'm gonna have to have my book with me now, because Deb is asking what family they belong. Do you know that?
Jubilant Tartar.
Huh?
Jubilant Tartar.
Can't even repeat what you're saying. I have to see it written. That's my thing with English. If I hear something, okay, Tubili dentata. There we go, guys. Tubili dentata. That's the family. No, isn't the family Orycteropodidae? That must be the family.
Sorry?
The family must be Orycteropodidae.
Oh, hold on.
Focus.
There we go.
Is- So that's the order.
Opus Ceres, I think that's the genus.
This one.
Yeah, Opus Ceres.
Orycteropus, yeah, is the genus. But what is Orycteropopidae? Podidae, that's the family, right?
Let me see
Yeah.
what it's saying, because it is tubular tartar, so I don't know what
Exactly.
it's saying
If it finishes with
Yeah.
A, then that's the family. So that's maybe was the order, or Tubilidentata.
there. Oh, yes.
Must be the order. So order of Tubilidentata, and then the family of the Erecteropodidae, which makes sense in French. Actually, now makes me think. In French, the aardvark is Orycterop, which is the genus name, Orycteropus Efer, and Orycterop doesn't really mean anything. I don't think so.
We're held up a festival thing.
And if you want to know what they are related to, they kind of have their own. They're inside their own. They've got their own order and their own family. Deb, I'm looking here. Recognition subspecies. 18 subspecies have been named, but most of invalid to. It is really on its own, and it's got, as you can see in my book, it's got its own order and it's got its own family. They're saying there are a few subspecies, but 18 subspecies have been named, but most, if not all, are invalid due to substantial yet little studied variation. So not enough studies. So they can't really confirm the subspecies, and so it doesn't really have any relatives, and that's because of the unique way it looks. I mean, he's quite on his own. Here we go, picture. And Tony wanted to know the name of my book. Here we go. That's the Kingdom Field Guide to African Mammals.
There is a newer version out. I was looking today.
And Tara is saying there is a newer version of it at the moment on the market, but it's by Jonathan Kingdom. And it's called the Kingdom Field Guide to African Mammals. Quite a nice book, very informative. Lots of good info in that book. That's what it looks like at the back. Cool. So I guess there are a few aardvark questions, and Mark is going to forward them to me now, and then he will get back later to the old questions, the older ones. But I'm not an expert on aardvark. I've never seen one, and I've never really studied aardvark behavior. I know got general knowledge about it, but if I get stuck, then we can always open my book. Good afternoon to you, Julie and Carol. Welcome back to Carol. At least I'm not too sure about Julie, but I know Carol already sent a question about the difference between meerkats and mongoose, and she wants to know now if they are considered like rodents. And I don't think so. They're not rodents, mongoose. No, they you see, rodents have this.
Order.
yeah, they have their own order. They are a completely different order. And mongoose would eat snakes, small mammals, insects, things like that. So it's
Mongoose are part of the cattle.
yeah, they are in the. They are. I was saying earlier on when I was talking about hyenas being related to more to cats than to dogs, and that they actually diverged from the mongoose a few million years ago. And mongoose are part of the cats family. They are part of the Felidae, and they have nothing to do with rodents, Carol. And Julie was asking if we can see their tail track when they walk on the ground, and I don't think so. Their tail is usually up when they're walking, and you'll not really see. You'll see the tracks from their feet, but you wouldn't see a track from the tail, like you would see with the vervet monkeys. Vervet monkeys would, most of the time when they walk on the road, you would clearly see their tail track. Hello guys, us again. Chilling at the entrance of the den. So what you been up to today? Sleeping, chilling.
Yeah, I believe he's crossed Torchwood access now, kind of. That takes you to the car. He's still heading straight west. So your best bet is to come down Chirakat line and wait on Chirakat line south of Central till you kind of get where our audio comes from, and then just stand by there. Thanks, I'm getting Chirakat line right now. Okay, copy, because it's going to get more cool slapping. So stand by somewhere south of Central. Maybe stop that there, but we're going to try and play with them here.
So, can smell. Something smells quite strong. To kill, or unless it's maybe them. Just send me the questions if you want, Mark.
Okay, copy. Where's the brother? He's just south of my vehicle now, heading kind of just behind you there at the moment. So if you reverse, I would say 20 meters, you might cross.
All right, cool. Sumac, good evening to you, Sumac, from the UK. Sent a question about hyenas a while ago, so Mark just wanted to keep it for when we're at the hyena den. And Sue is asking if it's only the dominant female who can mate, or do other females also mate and have puppies? Yeah, no, it's not only the dominant female. As you can see here, those females. If this is what we think, we're thinking it's probably floppy hair hyena clan, and floppy hair being the matriarch. And those two females here are not the dominant. Floppy hair is the dominant; she's the matriarch, and we think that this is floppy hair's clan. And so you can see those two females are not dominant, but they still have pups. So dominant females obviously have more chances to mate, and they mate with stronger males, or they have access to better males, if you can call it like that, than the other females. But the other females, even though they're not dominant, they can also mate, yes.
Just getting worse into the block now again. So come, yeah, got that portrait axis, Mandela Jones.
So lots of talking on the radio. Lots of talking on the radio about, I don't know if it's lions or leopards in Torchwood. Where is Steady, guys? Where is Steady? I'm sure the other hyenas are probably in the drainage line somewhere, sleeping. Been hot today, so they must probably found themselves a nice shady spot. And these ones are not too big, so they can still fit at the entrance of the den and find a cool spot in there. I'm sure Teddy is also in there.
Did you get that dog? From the South Village, where are you now? Okay, I'm going to switch over to the front. Maybe we can make a direction here than myself.
Good evening, Vicky. Welcome on board. Vicky had a question about aardvark, asking how do they protect themselves from predation. Sure, I remember when I was much younger, I saw a documentary on TV. Actually, no, it was a tape that my parents used to have. And it was called in French La Griffe et la Dent. So the claw and the tooth, or the teeth and claws. And I remember that footage that was filmed at night of lions attacking an aardvark, and they actually didn't succeed in killing it, because what the aardvark kept on doing was basically rolling into some kind of a ball, and their skin is very thick, very tough, and those lions were just like trying to bite and pierce that skin, and they just couldn't, and then the aardvark would just like run away, and then lions would run after him, and then they would catch him again, and then he would just once again turn into that ball, like kind of like the pangolin though, the pangolins. That's also what they do, but they've got like big scales, and you would think that a aardvark would get hurt because it doesn't look like he's got any protection, but they probably do have like very thick skin. And those lions were not adult lions though, I must say. They were, I think, like young lions, but like big enough, lions big enough to put down a proper kill already, or proper prey. And I remember they were struggling with that aardvark to the point where they actually did give up. And remember that footage of those lions just like looking kind of at each other, and the aardvark just running away, and they just like giving up. Like they didn't know what to do with it. They didn't know how to get through the skin and how to kill it properly. So that's one way. I think they've got a very thick skin. And another way is they probably have burrows. They do live in burrows, right? Aardvarks?
Yeah.
And they would go and take refuge in a burrow, run away and take refuge in a burrow. That's the two ways I'm thinking of, because they definitely don't have any teeth to defend themselves. They've got claws, but like that wouldn't do much to a lion or to a hyena or a leopard, but very thick, strong, tough skin, and taking refuge in burrows. That's the way. Well, not much activity around the den, unfortunately. They might get active a little bit later. So maybe what we could do... What time is it? Okay, we still have a bit of time, but not too much time. Let's maybe take a drive around, bumble around without going too far, and then maybe come back around here a little bit later if we can, and then see if there is a bit more activity. They usually start getting active at this time of the day when it gets cooler. But yeah, like I said, it was a pretty hot day today, so probably most of them are still sleeping now. Cool. Let's just take a slow bumble around, see if we can find anything else interesting, and we'll try to come back a little bit later. Cute, eh? Yeah, good question, Kim. If they're related to cat families, why do we call them puppies? I think it's because they look like dogs, and it would sound quite weird to call them cubs, hyena cubs.
Either goes.
But yeah, either goes, actually. You could. I think there are two schools on that. Maybe some people will call them cubs, some people call them pups. It's probably kind of up to you, you know. Whatever please you. Myself personally, I don't know, I feel better with calling them puppies, hyena puppies. Most books that I've been reading, that's how they call them as well. But yeah, if you want to call them cubs, you can. Maybe we should just come up with a new name. Can't be cubs, can't be pups. Cute, man. Cups. Yeah.
Somebody moved behind them.
Sorry?
Somebody moved behind them. No, it's Teddy.
Oh, is it? Well, let's somebody move behind them. Tell us.
Yeah, there he is.
Ah, yeah. Hello, little Teddy. As we were going to leave. Thanks, Star. Well spotted. I just saw something moving behind them. She's like, hold on, I think something moved, maybe Teddy. And there he is, waking up from his nap. That's our brand new cup. We're not gonna say pup, we're not gonna say cub, we're gonna say cup. Hello, little cup. Yeah. Janina, good evening to you. No, definitely not, Janina. Janina is asking if the den would be big enough for all the members to live in and to sleep in. No, especially not the adults and the youngsters together. You see, originally the den is kind of made for the little ones like Teddy. There would be like the entrance would be quite big, and then there would be some tunnels big enough for even an adult hyena to kind of stay in there. But then there will be a lot of small tunnels that are actually made by the puppy, by Teddy in this case, would dig himself some very narrow tunnel, and only him can get in those tunnels. And that's why sometimes when you get a bit of what we call infant or infanticide, how do you say it? Infanticide.
Infanticide is by the adults. Siblicide is by the siblings.
Sibling-side.
Siblicide.
Siblicide. That's why when siblicide happens in dens, the adults actually don't have control over it, because it usually happens inside those small tunnels where only the little pups can go. And if one of them decide to kill the other one, even though maybe the mother wouldn't like it to happen or would like to prevent it or stop it from happening, she can't really access there, she can't get in there, so she doesn't have control over them. But you see now, like for instance, now you've got those 3 youngsters, and Teddy was in there. There might be another youngster in there as well. So there is space. Some tunnels are big enough, but definitely not for all of them. Being like, I think, sure at the moment they're like, if you take the 2 mums and all the pups different age, you probably have like 10 hyenas, and that would never fit 10 hyenas. There would not be enough space in there. Quite a nice picture, eh? All of them standing there.
I'm going to be closing down just north of Finland.
Here comes Mum.
Where? Behind? Oh yeah. Behind us, the mummy is coming. Good thing we didn't leave. Might start getting interesting now. We would have missed it. Thanks, Star. Good call. Where's Mama? She went on the other side. Come on, come out, guys. Come and play with us. There's probably a bit of greetings going on the other side. I can hear some growling. Let's go and have a look quickly. I'm sure these guys probably they will probably make their way to the other side of the den as well. But I can hear a bit of growling going on there. And I can see Teddy at the entrance of the den. It's coming out now. Sorry, Ta?
I'm just wondering if that was the one that went missing this morning.
Which way is it going? Heading north. I'll let you know which is closer and down. Thank you.
Oh, shame. Don't be scared, Teddy. Can hear elephants trumpeting far away. All right. See, that's kind of typical of hyenas to do that. What that young one is doing over there, just climbing over the female and putting his belly or basically rubbing his belly on the female's face, and also his genitalia, kind of like it's also like a subdominant, not subdominant, but like a non-dominant, submissive behavior, and usually males do that. Might be a young male, this one. But yeah, like I was saying, I don't know, I thought there would be some questions, but maybe not. So we'll talk about hyenas, and I was saying I read some interesting stuff this afternoon, and the main one being that they're actually related more to cats than to dogs, and how the fact that they diverged from mongoose, and a few million years ago. And I was explaining you earlier on, what makes them different than cats are their jaws, much more powerful. Look at that, much more powerful and able to break bones, get to the marrow of the bones, and also turn bones into like a swallowable. Basically break the bones into little pieces that they can swallow. And other things that are different than cats is basically how they developed a big heart and big lungs as well. Their hearts and lungs are much bigger than lions and leopards, and that's that helps them to basically hunt in a different way than cats do. Cats usually ambush their prey and just get as close as they can and then just go for the kill as fast as they can, grab them by the neck and just kills them as fast as they can. Where hyenas would actually just run their prey down. They will run after them and for a long period of time sometimes until the prey just gets tired and slows down, and then all the hyenas would just like be there and put the prey down and kill it. They also don't really have the same way to kill than cats. Cats usually go at the neck, and that's typical of hyenas as well to do that. It's kind of marking their territory, just walking along grass like this and just leaving a scent, and that's how they mark their territory. Here we go. And you see how Teddy is very young, but he's already doing it. And look at these two there, so cute. So yeah, they have adapted to their own niche, and they are related to cats, but they have how awesome is that? Very playful now. Well, Mark is saying we got an email from quite a strange email address, CLC something, and I think they want to know if everyone is living here or if some of them will leave and come back. Is that right, Mark? Is that the question? Ah. Oh, okay, if they will always live here or if some members of the family will leave at some time, and so no, nothing for sure. They do move dens. They do move from one den to another one from time to time. They used to be in another den before that one, and they stayed only a couple of months, not even, and then they moved here, and they've been here now for quite a while. But it doesn't mean that they will stay here forever. If predators come by and if the den gets, if the adults get the feeling that the den is not really safe for the pups, then they will make a move and find a new den, safer one. And I'm actually surprised that they're still here. I remember a few weeks ago, I think that was just before we closed Safari TV down, one of the last drives we had with Safari TV. There was a young male here, lion male, one of the sticks, I think, one of the sticks young males, and they were all the hyenas were gone. They were not here, but he was here, and he spent most of the day here or most of the afternoon, and then I arrived here at night, and he was still here sleeping close to the den, and then he left the following day. And after that, I think we had our 2 weeks kind of break, moving from Safari TV to Juma, and when we restarted the drive, came here to check if the den was still active, and it was. They were still here, so they didn't move out, but they could have, with the risk to have some lions around, or the fact that lions know that there is a den, an active den. They might stay around, and that's why that one did. He stayed around for a couple of days probably, and then if it gets risky like that, they will move the den. Yeah, they will leave it. What do you see there? Huh? What you got? Another interesting fact that I read as well, thanks to someone who sent me some interesting info, was about how to determine the age of the hyenas, how to know what age they are, how old they are, and it's not that easy when they are alive or when they are young. When they are young, it's actually not too difficult. It gets more difficult once they're adult to know if they're like 7 years old or 10 or it can get a bit tricky. But if you can have access to a dead hyena and just by looking at the teeth, it will help you to basically age the individual, and it's very logical if you think about it. Basically, the teeth of the subdominant are usually more worn out than the ones from the dominant individuals, and that's because dominant individuals usually have access to better parts of the keel or the remains of the keel, and where subdominant or submissive individuals have access to much bigger bones or difficult food to chew, to what's the word, not chew,
Gnaw?
huh?
You're going for gnaw?
No, I'm losing my English now. Yeah, to crunch. But I'm just thinking about what I read now. It's not it's not about the age actually. I think it's more about find out if they are males or females. Because males being not dominant, they have their teeth are usually more worn out than the dominant individuals, which makes sense by the food. Basically, that's what I'm trying to explain, and I'm doing a big detour just to basically say that dominants have access to better food than subdominants, and subdominant individuals' teeth are usually more worn out. So if you have access to a dead hyena, by the look at their teeth, you can see if it was kind of a dominant or non-dominant individual, and that will give you an idea of if it was a male or a female. Nothing to do with age actually. And also, as to what was interesting in that article that I read, is that you can also see if they were kind of left-handed or right-handed. Well, for humans you would say left-handed or right-handed. For hyena you would say left teeth or right teeth. But basically every hyena's got a side that they prefer to use to break through bones, to break bones and stuff. So one hyena might be more comfortable using the left side of their jaws and another one the right side of their jaws. And you find that on a dead hyena. Check this one, yeah? Sneaky! Naughty. On a dead hyena you find that usually one side of their jaws, the teeth on one side are most of the time more worn out than the other side.
That's as bright as I can go now.
Yes, just don't really want to shine the light at Teddy. He's quite young, so it will hurt his eyes to shine the light there. So that's why Tara is just trying her best without any headlight at the moment.
Little rascal.
I guess I could just shine without shining at him. If I probably shine just there on the ground, I might just give you a little bit of enough reflection to see a little bit better. There we go. Without hurting Teddy's eyes. So yeah, there are lots of interesting facts out there. Lots of nice articles about the hyenas and we'll get lots of opportunities to get through those different articles that I've read.
If we have to use light, maybe we should move on then.
Sherry, good afternoon to you. I don't know if it's the same Sherry as when we were by the elephants who wanted to know how deep the water was. If it's you, welcome back. If it's not, then welcome. And Sherry is asking if the hyenas are born without spots. Yes, they are. You can see Teddy here is black, and that's how they are when they're born. They get born with open eyes, even though they can't really see much for the first few days, or even the first week. But they are born with open eyes and black, like Teddy is now. And then around 4 months old, they will slowly start losing their, or start getting their spots, getting a lighter coat and getting spots on their coat. Oh, just got a fright. Georgia, good evening to you. Hope you had a nice day at school, Georgia. Hope you did learn a lot of things. Welcome to my game reserve, and welcome to the hyena den. Georgia is 4 years and a half coming back from school, and she's on drive with us now, and she's asking if hyenas climb trees. No, they don't, Georgia. They're very bad climbers. They're not made to climb trees like leopards are. Even lions are much better climbers than the hyenas are, and that's why you'll find that leopards usually, when they run away from hyenas, they just climb up the trees because they feel safe up there. They know that the hyenas will not be able to go up there and catch them in the trees. And also that's also why leopards would also put their keel up a tree, so that the hyenas can't get there and can't steal it from them. They cannot climb trees. A season being a year, I guess, huh? Yeah. Tony in Florida, welcome to you. Liter season a hyena can have. If per season you mean per year, then it will be only 1 liter a year. And Tony is saying that it looks like there are different, there are puppies from different ages. And yes, they are. The different ages around that hyena den. Well, the two that we have in front of us are pretty much the same age, and then Teddy obviously is much younger. Teddy is probably around 6-7 weeks old. And they are not all from one mother as well. That's what you must know, Tony. There are 2 moms around here, and some pups belong to one and some other belong to the other one. But if you mean one season being 1 year, then it will not be more than 1 liter a year. It will usually even be 1 liter every year and a half, 2 years. It's very cheeky tonight, huh, Teddy? Huh? He's very cheeky.
He is. He's looking for a fight.
He's looking for a fight, yeah. Alright guys, I think we're gonna let them be. It's getting quite dark and I don't really want to shine the light too much at them. Teddy's eyes are still very sensitive. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep going with our drive, and we've got a bit of time left, and it's now time for the nocturnal animals to get active. So let's see if we can find anything interesting. I can try. Diane in New York. Okay. Okay. So she thinks they are hermaphrodites. So she thinks they are hermaphrodites. Oh. Okay, all right. Sorry guys, I will just a few questions about hyenas' reproductive organs. And Mark sent me one question, and then he's like, "Oh, hold on, let's get Sue's questions first." Sue Mac, good evening, Sue. Welcome back. Sue is asking if hyenas have two sets of reproductive organs, meaning are they basically hermaphrodites, like some snails are, or some fish. So she wants to know if they have male and female reproductive organs. And no, they don't, Sue. It's been a myth for quite a while. As much as it was a myth that they were only scavenging, or that they were only scavengers. And now most people have realized, and most people know now, that hyenas are not just scavengers. They also hunt, and they're actually very effective hunters. It's the same with being hermaphrodites. Lots of people have been believing that they were hermaphrodites, and they're actually not. And I can understand where it comes from, because males and females have actually, they have what it looks like males' reproductive organs, meaning like a penis look-alike genitalia. And females will have it, but it's not a penis. So that's what's very interesting about the hyenas. It's their anatomy is fascinating. It's the only mammal out there which got a clitoris. It's a very elongated clitoris, and that clitoris is basically serves the purpose of mating and urinating and as much as giving birth as well. It's very elastic. It's basically the females will have ovaries and a uterus, but they'll have an elongated clitoris, and the reason why they have this elongated clitoris, it's basically to look like a male. But then if you look at the form of the clitoris, once again, you can identify, or you can differentiate if it will be if it is a male or if it is a female, if you can have a close look at it. And I'm not gonna go into these details now, but it's basically, to answer your question, so it's a no. They're not hermaphrodites, and females just have similar or penis look-alike reproductive organs, but it is actually a clitoris. And they also have a scrotum, which looks like the male scrotum, but once again, if you have a closer look at it, the scrotum is, for the female scrotum, is smaller than the male's one. The female scrotum is actually made of layers of fat, and I've read an article from someone who used to breed hyenas, or I'm not too sure what he was doing, but he used to that's fine, and he used to live in close proximity with hyenas, and I remember him reading that the only way he could actually sometimes differentiate male from female would be to just touch the scrotum and squeeze it. And if it would be a female, it would be very soft, very like spongy, kind of. Where if it would be a male, oh, hello, Mr. Rafi, giraffe on the road. Just don't want to shine the light at it. Thank you, Mr. Rafi. And to go a little bit more into details with everything I'm saying at the moment, Sue, and for everyone who's interested about the hyena anatomy, which it is really interesting, and I've really enjoyed reading about that. The females, as you know, they're dominant in that society, and to be able to be dominant, they need to look like males, and they need to be bigger than males. And the one way they could do that, the one way they could succeed, and the way evolution made them succeed in being dominant, was to basically have an increase of testosterone level. And that's why they do have a scrotum look-alike and also a penis look-alike genitalia or reproductive organ. But they will still mate, the male being on top of the female, like dogs do, or like most animals do, and they will. Yeah, that's the amazing thing about it. If you think about it, the fact that they actually do give birth to that clitoris, and I don't want to know if it is painful. It must be very painful, but. It is quite a very, very weird anatomy thing about hyenas, and there was something else I had in mind that I wanted to tell you, which I forgot now. Oh yeah, Teddy, and I think that was the second question coming from. Who was that question from about Teddy's? The first one you wanted to send me. Yeah, I do the same. Diane, all right, thanks. Yeah, Diane, welcome on board, Diane. And Diane was basically asking if she's like, I don't mean to be rude, but is that Teddy's penis we see, or so does that mean he's a little boy? And that's why Mark was like, maybe answer Sue's questions first and then go to Diane. And from what I've just said, Diane, now you probably understand that it's very difficult to say if Teddy would be a male or a female, because they would both have that elongated penis-shaped reproductive organ, and for some of them, for the females it would be a clitoris, and for the males it would be obviously the penis. And the only way to look at it would be to have a close look at the gland at the tip of it, and females have a different glands than the males do. But it's difficult to explain. I actually need kind of I need to draw, but I'm not gonna do that now. Maybe one day I'll show it to you. I didn't get those info from a book. I did get it from an article. So maybe if I can print it, then I can maybe show it to you one day. Teddy is very young. Teddy is very young. He's too young to see even from his penis, if it is a penis, if he's a male or a female. And both of them, males and females, will when they get excited and when they get into greeting each other, you'll find that you'll see that that organ gets erected, or and for males and females. So males greeting females will have it, but the females as well. And it's just, but it's not. It wouldn't be a penis. For the females, it would be that erect clitoris. But once they are adult, you can see, you can have a close look at that, or if you can have a close look at the scrotum at the back when they lift up their tail to chase flies away or whenever, then if you can have a close look at that, you might be able to identify if it's a male or a female. Also, their stomach, male stomach would be slightly different than the female stomach. Female stomach being more like kind of to a flat, looking kind of flat and going a little bit downward towards the hind limbs or the back legs, where for the males it will curve up a little bit towards the back legs, toward the hind limbs. It will just curve up a little bit for the males, and for the females you'll see that it's kind of more of like a flat line going a little bit down. And obviously if it's a female that had some puppies recently, then you'll see the swollen tits. So yeah, sure, it's very interesting to talk about all of that. I hope I answered your question, Sue and Diane. Sorry?
Got a battery change and your inverter's beeping like crazy.
Oh, alright. Tara's gonna change the battery quickly, and then I think we're gonna have to say goodbye. It sounds like the inverter is beeping crazy. So I'm just gonna... Mark, can you hear me now? Oh, okay, cool. I was saying... Okay, cool. Before I say goodbye... Yeah, go. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. I'll keep that in mind. And otherwise, do you have any like nice question or like one or two questions you want to send me before I say goodbye? Oh sure. Oh sure. I don't know actually. Maybe the pangolin? No, not even. But I don't think we do have any. Deborah, Deborah, good evening. Deborah was asking a bit earlier on if we have any animals here in Africa that are related to the show, how you even said armadillo. And that's funny. When is it that I saw an armadillo on TV the other day? Was it with, what was I watching? And I saw I think it was a series or something, and armadillo. Wasn't it with you last night? We saw an armadillo on Dexter.
No.
No? Or maybe it was. Oh, hello, leopard. Sure. Got a leopard right here, guys.
You're gonna have to move your head.
Who are you? Well, I guess we gonna try to stay a little bit longer. So while I can, in case the inverter goes off, or in case we lose power and we go black screen, just want to say, Deborah, I don't think we have anything related to the armadillo here in Africa. And then I wanted to say thank you to Marilyn, who's been sending apparently a lot of pictures of Mishu, and to find out that he's actually recently been seen in a lodge in southern Sabisen called Umkombe Lodge. Yeah, that's great news, Marilyn. Thank you so much. Because we were actually talking with Mark and Tara the other day about Mishu. We haven't seen him for ages, and we were all hoping that he was. Yeah, I think that's Kerula. I think this is Kerula, guys. She's still very sleepy, but waking up slowly. And yeah, Marilyn, thank you. Marilyn's been basically trying to find where Mishu is, and she's been sending pictures of Mishu all over the place, I think on different Facebook profiles and stuff. And she recently found out that he's been seen in Mkombe Lodge, South Sabisen, so basically
I think you're going to get cut off very shortly.
south of us. Tara thinks we're gonna get cut off very shortly, so maybe I'll do it now while I can to say goodbye to you, say that I really, really enjoyed my drive. Thank you for all your questions. And tomorrow morning we will be live again at 6 o'clock Central African time, and it will be Mark presenting and myself behind the camera, and Tara will be in final control. But we'll try to see if we can stay a little bit longer with Kerula. Quite a surprise to bump into her, but otherwise, I really enjoyed my day today. It was a very nice morning drive and a very nice afternoon drive. Good elephants, good hyena sightings this morning and this afternoon. I just wanted to show you a little bit more stuff about trees and medicinal users, and I want to give you a few survival tips, but we didn't get a chance to get there because of good sightings, and that's what we're here for at first, to see wildlife. And I'm glad that we actually found those elephants and that we did get to spend a bit of time with them. And quite a nice ending. Couldn't be better than that. Finishing.
We were asking where's the leopards on quarantine.
Sorry? And quite a nice ending. Couldn't be better than that. Finishing.
We were asking where's the leopards on quarantine.
Sorry?
You were asking this morning where's the leopards on quarantine.
Yeah, that's right. This morning I was asking where are the leopards on quarantine. Well, I don't think I was asking myself.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's what you mean, yeah. I was. This morning I was driving and I was just like, where are the good old days when we used to have leopards on quarantine? And here we go. Kerula must have heard me. She alright, eh?
Yeah, I think maybe just drop the light a little bit more.
No, but look how she's standing though. I think she's just sleepy,
I
eh?
think she's got
or a hiccup. I saw some impalas there on the way, so there's some impalas around. And saw a great hiker also. Maybe I should call it in, eh? All stations, I've got a Lingwe here on quarantine, and looks like Kerula to me.
Yeah, it is
Copy,
Korea.
confirm. Is she static?
Yeah, very static. Lalapenzi on the western side of quarantine, on the other side of Ingazars.
Okay, copy. I'm here by 3 hours damn. Can I make my way and come and join you there?
Yeah, you're more than welcome. It's only me here for now.
Okay, copy. I'm on my way. Got my pipan there.
No, just the Mafazi just Kerula by herself. I don't know where the mapping pens are.
Okay, copy. Yeah, well, I'm closing down.
Alright, copy.
See you in the morning.
Cheers, Ephraim. Have a good evening.
The inverter stopped beeping.
Yeah, it's not beeping anymore.
Oops. Sorry.
She should start getting active now, this time of the day. Oh, here we go. I think we're gone. No, we're not gone yet, but it looks like we're gonna be gone very soon. So, once again, guys, thank you for being with us today. Thank you for your questions, and join us tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock Central African time. No, I think, well, you tell me, Mark, do you still have picture your side?
I don't know, maybe we should close down. I don't know what this inverter's doing.
Okay. Yeah, I think it is. Let's play it safe and let's stop the drive now so that we can put the batteries in charge. I don't really want to run them empty. So guys, Mark's gonna cut away now. And anyway, Kerula's not gonna do much. She's sleeping. So once again, from all of us here at Juma, myself and Tara behind the camera, Mark in FC, thank you for being with us this afternoon, and join us again tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock Central African time. Bye for now.
Oh, I'm live. Hello, everybody. Mark here in Final Control. What a lovely evening that we had. A lovely hot evening. I won't use the lovely word again. But it's amazing. It's so hot. It's like summer. Very, very warm evening. Don't even have to put shirts or jerseys on. Thanks for joining us this wonderful afternoon. And I hope... Oh, I've got a sneeze. Gosh, there you go. We're live. Sneezes happen when you're live. Yes, I thought Seb was saying goodbye, and then I put my flower and grasshopper up, and then he wasn't quite live, so we just went back to Karula for a second. Sleeping out there on the open area. Probably just having a break from her children. Looks like she's quite comfortable. and maybe with a little bit of luck, we'll be able to find her tomorrow morning. And I think it's me that's out tomorrow morning with Seb on camera. Tara here in final control. Hope you have all have an interesting evening or interesting day, and we'll see you on our next drive. Thank you for your support. Bye for now.